title never really recovered from that, and it fell in, I think, 1453-ish.
Something like that,
And pretty much as a direct result of this appalling treachery by this group of disgraceful. Anyway, and now I mean, I love Turkey and I love the Turks, and it's wonderful to go there. And it's Turkey is still a really important country because it still politically bridges the East and the West exactly as it did before. And it's it's great. And
it's definitely one of those quite big crossroads countries in the world,
and it always has been.
Absolutely, and
which makes it interesting for us.
Yep.
So yes, you do a lot of research there.
Very much so. Yeah. No, and it's really fun to do.
I know you said Istanbul isn't in the game, but I remember we had a question from someone else. I don't remember who it was. Whether any of the locations are going to be in the UK.
The answer is yes.
Ooh.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
There's a cryptic clue for that, but there may be inflatable pigs involved.
There may be, or there may have been inflatable pigs at one point.
That's
so
great.
Figure that one out.
Okay, last question.
Yeah, and I tell you what. Will you see if anybody sends us a message and gets it right what we're talking about?
Oh, which city it is? Okay.
No. Well.
Yeah, no, they have to know what landmark we're talking about.
What landmark? Okay, if you know what landmark we're talking about, send it through. Does Alex know what landmark we're talking about? He
not the
doesn't.
first clue.
You have to be a gentleman of a certain age.
Well, I'm going to go to the last question. This one's from Jurassic Junkie, and his question is, and this is a tough one, what makes Broken Sword 5 stand out from the other games aside from the graphical overhaul?
Well, Nigel didn't work on the earlier games. So therefore...
That does stand out.
I have my own special brand of magic pixie dust.
And you eat lions. That is very different.
You eat lions?
This isn't a t-shirt.
Oh, I see, right.
This is a tough one. I mean, it's certainly going to be as good. It should be the best one ever, shouldn't it?
Yes.
I think that's it. I mean, it's a very tricky thing because it's coming at it fresh because I didn't work on the other ones, and it's a very big challenge to sort of bring a franchise sort of kicking and screaming into the 21st century, but at the same time keep it as it was. It's still a 2D point and click. It's still an adventure game. And there's a certain amount of nostalgia that you kind of playing on with that, but at the same time, it's a game of the 21st century. It's a game of the internet age. It's something that's I think we've all learned an awful lot about game design in the sort of intervening years since the first games, and I think that hopefully will show through in the refinement of the puzzles and the narrative and the story and the way things evolve.
It's all things really, isn't it? You can't say it'd be the best game because of this.
I mean, if you boil the design down to the sort of things that the player does, it's pretty much the same sort of, the verbs the player has to play with are the same ones that they would have done with the first Broken Sword game. But I hope everybody will feel that it's kind of, we've moved the genre on, but yet been kept true to what the games are all about.
But then also very interesting to look at a game like The Walking Dead, which is really, an excellent game from Telltale.
Yeah.
But it is about graphics, and it is about story and the fact that you can make choices in the story. And because of that, there is very limited gameplay. I don't think that they would be offended by me saying that. So the emphasis, they've moved it to 3D, they've moved it to an interactive narrative. It is an interactive narrative, apart from a few QuickTime events, which are pretty easy to solve.
We have many fewer zombies. Broken Sword.
Many fewer.
Many fewer.
We've got many fewer than they have. Yes. So they've been. What they've done is interesting.
But we got goats.
We have got
goats.
Yes. Yeah. No, they don't have goats. You're right. Or not that I've seen.
They missed the trick there, didn't they?
They did.
I think
they
so.
did.
And
then something like
goats.
Heavy Rain, of course,
Zombies
which was very interesting, because that was a new attempt. So, or indeed our own Broken Sword games, which moved to 3D. So I don't think we're saying there's a right or a wrong, but as Nigel says, what we want to do is we want to build on both the familiar, but also surprise people, so that they know that it is a point-and-click 2D adventure, but that it has strong themes, strong puzzles, strong storyline, and new ideas for the 21st century rather than being stuck in the past.
Postmodern, if you want to be flowery about it.
Postmodern. That's a great way to describe it. Yeah. Nina,
I think
postmodern.
also postmodern. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very postmodern. But I think also with with touch screens and I guess the audience that is playing adventure games, it's very much the same audience that was playing them back in the day when.
They're definitely a component of the audience, and then also the people who discovered it through. Because obviously the thing that touchscreen gives you for an adventure game is that accessibility.
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
kind of the sort of directness of control and kind of the naturalism of the sort of control really suits touchscreen. I mean, it's always been one in. It's one of the game genres that's kind of made a very elegant transition to a touchscreen, whereas a lot of games you struggle. I've been worked on things myself. Things like virtual joysticks and things like that just don't work because you need a sense of feedback. But with a sort of point and click, it feels right. It just works.
Yeah.
And millions of people will have come to Brainstorm via a touchscreen.
And I think, Tony and I were talking about that earlier, how there's of course the classic mode, so that you can have still the experience that you would have had, in the old days, but then you can also have the hints, and you can have the hotspots and all these other things that make the game more usable. I think that's great as well.
And I just to go back, I blame PlayStation for the demise of the adventure. And I'm deadly serious.
Or consoles. It's not your brand specific.
Well, only because of the success of PlayStation. And what happened was that PlayStation was so successful that the retailers with their limited shelf space stocked more and more PlayStation games and fewer PC games, and then it became an arms race to become one of the few PC games that could get into retail. So there were fewer adventure games made because they didn't conform to that, and a lot of people who were the core gamers who've been playing games for years and years and years. And my uncle and aunt are actually classic examples of that. Just stopped playing games, and it was only through Wii and DS that they were actually welcomed back when they had fantastic marketing. But then of course the irony is that Nintendo then lost that market to the mobile. Where mobile games are obviously a lot cheaper than the Nintendo games for a variety of reasons, and we've been beneficiaries because ultimately the people who write the ultra casual games, the 3 Gems in a Row or the Hidden Object games, very much identify adventures as what people who get a little bit bored of this want to move up to. So we're holding a middle ground, and we're very proud of that middle ground. And we're not going to go low to make the game ultra easy to play, and we're not going to make it, hardcore.
Oh, I want to do this sort of Broken Sword Ninja Gaiden crossover.
I like the idea of Lincoln. I like the idea of Lincoln and his vampires. I think that sounds great.
I keep saying it's zombies.
Zombies are so last year.
Zombie goats.
Zombie goats. No, they are.
Give me that at least.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe the general consensus is that we found one of our backers knows what the pig referred to.
Oh.
And I don't know. Do you want me to say it out loud, or are we gonna?
No. What we'll do is we'll
congratulate them
personally.
Okay. Well, you'll find out if you have the right one.
Yeah, and then send around the Revolution Assassins. So sleep with one eye open.
Well, they have a saying in Russia that if you sleep with your face to the wall, a wolf will come and bite you in the butt. So, watch out for those wolves or lions. Well, Nigel eats lions, so you should be okay, really.
Yeah, anyway. I have someone else kill them for me first. I have a man to do that.
Anyway, guys, I think that'll have to be all for today. We've actually overrun.
Well, thank you for watching. It's great, isn't it?
Absolutely, and thanks everyone for sending through your questions. Again, I'm always apologising for the fact that we couldn't answer them all, but come and join us next time, and hopefully we'll get to your questions then. And thank you guys for joining us.
Great, thanks to Alex. Apparently he was the one. Alex sneaked round and changed the camera.
The camera, yeah.
And people were trying to speculate, and so he's got a new title. an unnamed member of the revolution team is what his business card is going to now say from going forward. He's very proud of that.
Yeah, he's a ninja. He's part of the ninja clan here at Revolution. Alright guys, thanks very much for joining us, and we hope to see you again next time.
Very much so.
Cheers.
Cheers, bye.